Hey guys, my name is Ryan and welcome to Overwatch Central and welcome to another Master Guide. Now we've listened to some of your feedback with other Master Guides in the past and we've decided to take a new approach to getting certain people on for future upcoming Master videos as a result. Today we want to talk about that really unique hero in Overwatch right now, Sombra. And to give us some of their top advice, we've got CodeyNiku, a very high rated player. He peaked at number 5 in the Americas but is also the best Sombra in the world right now. So let's get started with this video. So to begin with, let's just have like a brief introduction of you and also like previous accomplishments, where you were for season 1, 2 or 3, if you were in the top 500, how far did you get, that sort of thing.
So in season 1, I didn't actually play the game much then. I got to, I think, rank 80 early on, and then I just kind of dropped the game, so it didn't really go much there. Season 2, I climbed to rank 2, I think, in North America, but I finished at rank 4 with SR of like 45, 60 something, I think.
So out of the top 500 in the US, you were number 4?
Yeah.
What was it that you played in season 2 then, a lot of?
Anything. I don't know, I just played whatever I felt like playing. Like Diva, Widow.
Just a mix,
Yeah,
just whatever needed to be played.
Whatever I felt like playing, yeah.
How about season 3 then?
Season
What's the highest you got with?
Rank 5, I think it was 70 or 47, 45? That was playing Sombra.
Predominantly, yeah.
Yeah, for the most part.
It's worth adding as well that you've played her a lot before a lot of these changes came in. With this change to a speed of a hack and stuff like that, you were still playing her before then and still climbing with her.
Yeah, I don't know. The buffs are good for sure, but I don't know if like they really changed all that much for like her ability to at least carry solo queue. She seems around the same.
So saying that, do you do a lot of duo queue and stuff when you're playing Sombra? Do you like to play with somebody else? Is she more effective there, or...?
It's always better to have communication between someone that you're like, kind of like, like they know their strengths, like especially if they're like a Zarya or a Reinhardt, even like another DPS like a soldier, because EMP and another ult is always just like a wipe unless you play really badly.
Yeah, so she's a hero that a lot of people have a lot of problems with, that say that she's not good enough and stuff. What kind of general tips would you give to somebody that wants to learn how to play Sombra and to use her as effectively as possible?
The tips I can give, probably when you're playing her, it's either they don't really have like a good like comp to pick, like because Sombra doesn't get picks on that many heroes that well, like 1v1, she doesn't win very many of those. Like she can beat Zenyatta, Torb, Symmetra, she can beat all of them pretty easily. But when you start fighting like other DPS, you get out damaged very quickly unless they screw up. So you can like take duels with like everybody, but you probably won't win them, right?
Yeah.
Like pick your fights. Pick them with like Zenyatta, right? Zenyatta's EMP. When you EMP him, it takes his whole health bar away, like except 50. So you want to always try and get your EMP to hit him as well, because if you hit him with your EMP, you can just wipe him out of the fight entirely. Same with Zarya and Symmetra. Another thing, I don't know if people do it now, I've been telling people to do it, is to stick to the high ground, because people like ignore you when you're above them for some reason, and it makes it really easy to hack people like Reinhardt.
They're sort of like dropping down on them kind of thing.
Yeah, you don't even need to drop off. Like you can just stand on the high ground and hack people from up above. They don't really do anything about it from what I've noticed.
Okay, so do you hack a lot of people then? Do you hack more people than say health packs? Or would you say it's like 50-50?
I only usually have at least like 1 to 2 health packs hacked at a time, unless I really need to get control of them. Because, I don't know, I feel like if you're hacking a bunch of health packs, you're not doing as much as you could be for your team overall. I feel like it's less effective. Because when you're playing Sombra, you already have 2 healers. So I don't really find myself needing to hack all the health packs. I usually stick to trying to get my ult, because you can just win a fight off of getting your ult every single fight if you're spamming Roadhog enough for, whichever tanks. When you're going into EMP2, I don't know if people do this, but you should definitely check like where all your team is, all of their positions. Like, because if they're not in a good enough position, your ult it'll just be useless, right? It's only like a 6-second EMP or 5 or something, and it's not gonna last long enough for them to get into position.
I guess make sure that there's follow-up there as well.
Yeah, for sure.
On that subject, do you prefer to hack health packs for your team to gain ult, or hack health packs by the enemy so they can't use them? What's better in that situation?
I think getting your ult on Sombra is like priority. So I usually don't really hack the enemy's health packs that much, unless like I'm trying to like just start fighting people there. Like if I'm just trying to pick people off in like a room and there's a health pack, it's not a bad idea to just hack a kit and wait for someone.
How about with
Like-
teleport packs then? Where's the best place to set them up as well?
Oh, the translocator?
Because you use them pretty offensively as well. You like to sort of throw them into fights and drop into people.
So what I like to do, there's like 2 ways to engage as Sombra, right?
Mhm.
There's throw your E where you're at, shift in, EMP and E out, and then do damage. Or you can throw it above if you need a quick engage, but it's risky that you have a risk of dying. It's a pretty high risk, so those are like the 2 ways to engage really. And that's like the aggressive and like the safe way.
Yeah. What I noticed from watching some of your gameplay as well is you're in and out of fights constantly. You're just picking away at people and then teleporting back as soon as there's like a sign of trouble. Like you're not risking anything. But I guess, as you say, like it is just about getting that ultimate and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's very ult dependent.
What's the best way to get the ultimate then? To sort of, because a lot of people exploit health packs and get everybody to use them. Do you prefer using damage to try and get more ult charge?
Like I usually just hack a health kit, put my E on it, go in, and spam Hog if I'm trying to get my ult. Or just hack Rhine Shield and then spam him because he can't do anything. He's got no way to retaliate. Those are just easy ways. But if you want to get it really fast, then you want to tell your team to pick up your health kits. Well, you do that.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the quickest way. You can get it in about 30.
Yeah, so a lot of people would say that Sombra needs more buffs, I suppose, more damage output and stuff like that. Do you think that she's okay as she is? I mean, you've climbed all of that way playing this hero. Do you think that there's something that you're doing that other people maybe aren't necessarily? Because you mentioned to me before this that you haven't really played against other Sombras. It's like you have that advantage almost.
Yeah, so her damage, I feel like if they buffed her, she would just be, like, stupidly broken. Like, if they buffed her damage at all, because you're already able to, like, melt a bunch of people. Like, maybe it's not, like, as quick as Soldier, but if that became the case, then she would just probably be a perma pick. Because she's already, like, really good against the meta right now with, like, Reinhardt, Zarya, Zen, anyone. She just does really good in the meta.
Is it just a fear of being able to use her properly then? And it's a high damage meta as well. Like people want to play the likes of Soldier and Roadhog that can get those kills instantly. Is it just that fear of wanting to play a hero that requires combinations, coordination so much?
Yeah, maybe people don't like the idea of working together in the solo queue, because like they don't want to have to rely on their team as much. I don't find myself having to rely on them that much though. Because as long as I throw my EMP down, usually there's follow-up. Like, people know to go in now.
Yeah, I guess when you have an EMP on your team and they don't, that's a major advantage as well.
Yeah, it definitely shuts down the enemies. They can't use abilities. It's just kind of like, you should win the fight, but it doesn't always happen.
Are there any sort of preferred or not preferred game modes, would you say? Is there any game modes that Sombra works really well on or doesn't work well on?
She completely destroys 2 CP. She doesn't do, like, that great on Koth, but 2 CP she's really good on it, like Anubis. She's just, I don't know, it's the ability to just wipe them, I guess, without them being on the ult. I don't
Is
really
that
know.
attack or defense, or both?
You can play her on both, actually, and just keep stopping their pushes in. I find she does pretty well on both of them on 2 CP. She seems to work very well on defense. Surprisingly, like for what she's supposed to be, she does a pretty good job defending.
Do you find yourself having to change off Sombra a lot? Because you do play other heroes as well. I know you play a bit of Widowmaker as well. How often would you change off Sombra? How do you know when it's not going well, I guess?
I actually usually only swap off Sombra when I feel like I can't track all that well.
Okay.
Or, if I'm like, I just want to swap it up and play something else at that time. But, because if I can't track, then I'm not doing enough, I feel, and I just don't want to play it.
So when you're skirmishing the rest of the enemy team, what heroes are you looking to hack?
Like, you want to hack Tracer, but you can do it right now because of the buff. Her reload time takes 1 second. They buff hack to 0.8. When she's reloading, you can hack her, and she's a free kill. Like, she can't do anything. Genji you can hack when he's like deflecting, because he can't do anything except dash away, right? He can't hurt you. Reinhardt, obviously you want to hack Reinhardt as much as possible. Same with Diva, Mei, Monkey when he's ulting. Summer's really good at countering stall. She's really good at like countering stall comps.
So I guess she was really good against the triple tank meta then, to an extent.
I think she definitely did well in it.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot more like dive comps come out, certainly a lot more Tracer and Genji and stuff like that. Do you think she'll work well alongside Dot, or do you think that's going to be a problem for her?
Then I think Tracer will be better for that for sure. I've never really liked the Tracer playstyle that much though, but I think she does better in a dive comp than Sombra. Unless the dive comp is just waiting for you to get your ult, but...
Are there any heroes that against you cause a lot of problems?
I always find that she doesn't have that much problems dealing with much Winston just because he can be really annoying. Like, he can just hold Mouse 1 on you.
Does Symmetra give you any issues?
No, not really. And also, I don't know if this one's known as you can EMP her teleporter and it'll bring it down to like 50 HP.
Okay, yeah.
So if you need to like kill the TP and she's beside you, you can do both at the same time because she also has like 100 shield or whatever.
I guess as well, Sombra's become this sort of troll pick. How did you sort of deal with people that saw that you picked Sombra and were like, oh, he's just going to throw the game, or really didn't want you to play Sombra? Did you sort of try and talk him out of it, or were you just like, just played the game, did really well, and people were like, oh, okay, this guy's actually serious on this hero?
People, so in the beginning, I was, like, people would sort of say that, but I already have, like, a name for myself in the higher rank, at least, for playing things that aren't exactly the best pick. So when I was picking it, I didn't get that much complaining, but as time went on, people just noticed me and noticed, like, oh, I got Cody, he's the really good Sombra, and it was just, they just allowed me to play it. No one really complains. People will tell other people to swap before they tell me now.
Okay, so they sort of build the team around you and the Sombra.
Yeah.
But I guess that's how it should be played, really.
For sure.
So what kind of advice would you give to people that are A, wanting to learn and to use Sombra, but also people that are playing and somebody picks Sombra on their team?
I mean, obviously you can always go and check their stats on Sombra, see if they actually play it before you start complaining, but also you can just give them a chance, especially if you're on attack, because it is very powerful. The one thing I think would be kind of a troll pick, not really, but King of the Hill Sombra doesn't seem to do that well.
So is it a lot to do with territory and taking that ground from the enemy and stuff like that?
So, I don't know, people think of her as like an assassin, right? And she's more of just like disrupting, but you can get picks on top of that.
On that subject, do you prefer to hack health packs for your team to gain ult, or hack health packs by the enemy so they can't use them? What's better in that situation?
I think getting your ult on Sombra is like priority. So I usually don't really hack the enemy's health packs that much, unless like I'm trying to like just start fighting people there. Like if I'm just trying to pick people off in like a room and there's a health pack, it's not a bad idea to just hack a kit and wait for someone.
With how like Jeff Kaplan and stuff have approached Sombra by saying like, we don't want to buff her because we feel that people are just going to realise how to use her effectively and go from there. Would you say that it's only a matter of time before Sombra becomes really popular and people start using her? And basically, is it worth learning to play Sombra now because there's going to be a point like Anna where everybody's going to be using her? Do you think that's going to happen, or is she just always going to be that situational off-meta pick?
So I think if she receives another buff, she will probably become like a big pick for people. But right now, I've seen her a couple times in high ranking, and people are starting to notice how annoying she is and how much she can do. So if people in the higher ranks pick her up, she might just flood into the lower ranks too, and people will start practicing her and learning her and actually believing that she's not a troll pick.
Yeah. Would you say for people that are watching this video then to pick up Sombra and to start learning her? Or do you think it's not quite time yet?
If they want to play her and they think she's fun, I think she's definitely able to be played in competitive. Like, right now she's like pretty decent, especially if you play her correctly, like hacking Reinhardt's, and it just kind of like throws them out of the fight. Like, it makes people go into a panic.
And I guess on defense as well, she can waste a lot of time as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Because of the sort of high MMR that you're at, and you've played with the likes of Seagull and stuff like that, have you got any sort of... What's your best tip? Not just necessarily on Sombra, but for playing the game as a whole to get good at Overwatch?
I think one thing that makes people a lot worse is probably tilting after like one thing. Like, I don't know, I find myself, I don't really tilt that much unless like, I don't know, I'm having like a bad day or whatever. But the tilting is like a massive factor, like your state of mind. Like if you're not having a good day, then you might not have good games for the day. Oh, that's what I've found. It's like if I'm not in a good mood, I just D-rank. I don't know, something like that.
Okay, cool. And to finish with, you've just recently started streaming and doing all that sort of stuff. Where can people find you? Where can people find the pro Sombra, like the #1 Sombra in the world as well? Like, where can they find you?
They can find me at twitch.tv/CodeyNiku, spelled Niku.
And that's it for this time. Thank you very much for watching. Do let us know what hero you would like us to go over next, which player you would like us to get to talk about it. And also like these videos if you want this series to keep going. Until next time, take care. We'll see you then.